What's going on, everybody? It's your girl, Lady Sulla. I'm back at it. You already know. This is Insecure, Season 5, Episode 4. This is my reaction to Faulty. Okay? So let's get into it. This is Nathan's big event that Issa has been helping him with, scouting locations. They've had several conversations about it. And we are here at Nathan's beach party event, okay? It is like 75 degrees, beautiful beach, white sand. You see a whole bunch of melanin, a whole bunch of nice and tight six packs, beautiful bikinis. You see beach balls, you see some barbecuing going on. So I already knew as soon as I saw the sun and that water, I'm like, oh, this is going to be a good episode. This is going to be a fun episode. So we got Molly, Issa, and Kelli walking up, all looking beautiful, different styles. You got Issa and her, rainbow Skittles and stripes get up with the two-piece. Got a little midriff showing, keeping it classy, but a little fiery. I love it. I love the little cover up that she had on top of it. I love that she went bright and bold. It looked good. She had her two big French braids, so pretty. Molly is killing it. She is just coming into her look with her short hair, and it looks beautiful on her. Kelli looked gorgeous as well in her I want to say sky blue. Molly gets right to it. She says she ain't had sex in a minute, that she fucks weird now. This has been so long. And I guess that date that we saw her at the end of episode 1, I'm guessing that's the dude she decided to take home and do the do with. She said the date was good, but the sex wasn't. So she definitely has some practicing to do in that area. And none other than Kelli is going to get her back up to speed. Yes, our good girl Kelli says she can help her with that. She's on a spiritual journey, but that's okay. You know what I mean? She can make a little bit of room. She can enlighten the coochie. We love Kelli. She's just that good friend that is willing to take one for the team. She's willing to fill in when you need her. Okay, if you need to call off work, she got you. All right, if you need to bounce some ideas around, she's all ears. Kelli's the go-to, okay? Kelli is the plug, and she's the go-to. So we love Kelli. We love Kelli for that. In this episode, we're definitely getting relationship vibes. We're getting dating vibes for both Issa and Molly. So very exciting stuff for both of these two ladies. They have been sort of out of a relationship for like over a year. Molly's been out of a relationship with Andrew for well over a year. Issa's been out of a relationship with Lawrence. I want to say it's been over a year as well. I have to keep like reminding myself of that because I'm like, what is the timeline? I'm like, oh yeah, when we get to the second episode, they, speed off to a year later. And that's where we're at now. So I have to keep reminding myself of that. But yeah, it's been over a year for both ladies. So, it's time. It's time. They're ready to really kind of get back into the groove of things. Issa has really kept a solid, consistent, platonic relationship with Nathan. And I don't think that flirtatiousness, that chemistry has ever faltered all through their friendship. So I already predicted that if something went awry with Lawrence, that she most likely would give Nathan a second go. And lo and behold, I think that's what gonna get in this episode. Molly obviously is kind of starting fresh. She's not recycling or anything like that. She's not going back to any old thing. She's looking for a new flame. Shout out to Chris Brown. And so we get introduced to Arik, who is wow. He has a sight for sore eyes. I gotta give credit where credit is due. He is the sight for sore eyes. Nathan got him got himself a couple handsome friends. All right, I was like, oh, okay. All right, Molly, we see what you do in 2021. She said, yes, new hair, who this? New man, who this? Okay, like, I'm not mad at it at all. I am not mad at it at all. He seems very confident. He seems very charming. A lot of charisma, stylish, I mean, he clearly is working out because, he had the shirt open and everything was stacking properly. We don't know the flaws. We don't know what the catch is to this man. But I would say, Molly, yeah, the package is looking promising. It is looking promising. If I was you, I would definitely FedEx that package overnight. No need to even do priority. Just skip right to overnight shipping because that package is definitely not one you want to wait on. Okay, so just saying. I mean, whew. One of the highlights for me in this episode was when Arik was in the car with Nathan and Faison Love's stunt double. I don't know what his name is, but that is Faison Love's son. If we got a Faison Love clone, that is him. They were all in the car talking, and Arik let it be known that he can't wait to see Molly's fine ass again. He can't wait to spin her around, give her a little smack, a little part. I'm like, what is that? Turn her around, bend her over. Ooh. Okay. Noted. Another highlight for me is when they walk up and they see the group, Nathan and all his friends and all that, and then Arik's like, y'all trying to get in on this game of spades? What's up? And Issa's like, ooh, spades. Is that like pity pat? Can y'all teach me? And Kelli got her all the way together. She's like, no, we not doing that. We not wasting our time teaching you spades. The cutoff age is 16. We ain't teaching you spades at your big age. What is wrong with you? Spades is one of those games where there's always going to be someone that doesn't know how to play, or it's been so long so you forgot how to play. You just need a quick refresher. Just teach me real quick. Come on, let's play a practice round. And you always got those folks, and then you got the folks that are like, no. You know what I mean? They want to bet. They want to go hard. They want to go crazy. They are like, they play spades in their sleep. They don't got time for you. Okay, they don't got time for you. Go back to kindergarten, all right? Issa, I'm sorry, you just gonna have to sit on the side and watch them play because they're not about to teach you. The show is definitely inserting different information surrounding Kelli. We're definitely getting a lot of bits and pieces in all these episodes so far. And how I can tag it is this is essentially Kelli's evolution. I feel like for the first 4 seasons, we've gotten funny Kelli, and we're still getting that, right? Like, we're just getting that in abundance, and she's like one of my favorite arcs of this whole show, one of my favorite characters for sure. I think she is like beloved. She's definitely a fan favorite, but I feel like the writers are definitely trying to build more layers to her, and I think it's probably because of all the fanfare and all the support and all the love that she gets, and when people hashtag her and just talk about, hey, we want more Kelli, can we get a Kelli spinoff? Like, these are all the things that are said on Twitter, and it's real. People really love Kelli, so I feel like the writers are trying to be very conscious of that, and we're just getting a lot of tidbits as far as getting different sides to Kelli. For example, we learned, I think last episode, that she quit drinking. We learned that she started a podcast called Kelli's Pregunta, or Prenny's Preguntas. And so this seems like a very philosophical and introspective type of podcast. It's her talking on the mic solo, and it sounds like it's just a bunch of like very thought-provoking questions that she's coming up with, maybe like journal type of dialogue, you know, things that you would write in your journal, or things you would pray about, or things you would like look inward to ask yourself about. Really like vulnerable, really personal type of questions. And I think these are the questions that she is going to be inserting on her podcast. So once again, that's another layer. Also, she mentions that she's on a spiritual journey, and that's becoming more and more evident as we continue to watch these episodes. And, you know, she really hits it off with Risha. She is talking to her this whole episode. I mean, they're having some really, really interesting dialogue. I mean, like when they're riding in the car after leaving from the beach, heading to Sharky's. Is that a real place? Anybody from LA? Somebody in LA? Can y'all let me know? It reminded me of Puerto Rico, honestly. But anyways, you know, they're in the car, and Risha and Kelli are just diving in, you know, really getting into some good conversation. She's just sharing different dreams that she's had, and things that she's realizing about herself. And, you know, she's been looking inward, and, you know, she's really discovering herself. And, you know, Risha seems like she's really listening and very supportive. So I'm like, wow, this is really cool. It's really cool to get more of Kelli. I just have a feeling that when this show is starting to wrap up, that they're going to start announcing that there's a spinoff for Kelli. That would actually make a lot of sense, to start introducing all these like fragments of her life and things and different sides to her that we've never seen until this season. It would be a good setup for a spinoff. You know, she's deep. She's trying to grow as a person. She is trying to elevate her spiritual awareness and, you know, get to a higher spiritual level. It'll be interesting to see if there's any announcements that come, especially as we get towards the end of this show. I think it would be genius. I think it would be a no-brainer. And I'm sure HBO is clocking this show, and it's clocking, you know, all the Twitter reactions and the conversations that go on and hashtags. So they should be working on it. Keep an eye on Kelli. We might be getting a Kelli spinoff, y'all. I'm excited. I'm excited at that possibility. Moving on to Issa and Nathan. Definitely get a lot of spotlight being put on where they're at after that awkward kiss in the mouth situation that happened, which I still am laughing at because that shit was funny. I mean, I'm sorry, Issa girl, but even when you're not trying to be funny, you're funny. People tell me the same thing. It's okay. It's a gift. We find out that it's been kind of awkward since that happened. Issa goes to say hi, and he's like, "Oh, hey, thanks so much for coming. Thanks for showing up." And she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm great. And you?" He's like, she's like, "Oh, that's not what you said." Issa immediately just dives into her like awkward like waves of like sentences that just like comes to her mind. GHB, great host, boy. Killing it since before we got here. Yeah. Issa is the queen of awkward. Like nobody's beating her. That's it. She got it. She got the title. She got the crown. It's over. It's done. Killing it since before. She could easily just stay quiet and smile or like maybe giggle or something, but she like goes like all in. And Nathan is so sweet. He's just like, "Oh yeah, thanks." After that awkward encounter, it dawns on Issa that Nathan is acting weird. What Issa just did, that wasn't weird at all, I guess. It's Nathan actually that's acting weird. Well, okay, Issa, we'll go with that. Kelli's like, "Oh, I always thought he was weird." Issa, she asked Nathan, like, "Oh, okay, just checking in. Just want to make sure we still cool, are we still friends?" And he's like, "Yep." So I was like, okay, so obviously, you know, he's a little bit turned off from her asking if we're still friends, because it essentially puts him in the friend zone, right? But in Issa's mind, she's trying to just kind of tiptoe her way in to talk to him and to not, you know, she doesn't want to jump the gun too much, and she does want to make sure that they are still friends to see if they still have a chance. So it's so interesting how both sexes, you know, interpret something, and how the interpretation is like totally opposite. She said it with one intention, he received it with a different, you know, meaning, and they're just not on the same page. And I feel like this is very common, especially when you're talking about communicating with the other sex. It's just, we always misread each other, we always misunderstand, we always make the wrong assumptions. Pretty common, pretty common. But the good news is that they do talk again. You know, shout out to Issa for really making that effort. It's awkward. He's not saying much. He's not giving her much to work with. He's pretty tight-lipped. He seems a little standoffish. But Issa, she's like, I'm pushing past this awkwardness, and I'm going to really talk to him again. She talks to him again when they get to that restaurant. And she just was like, hey, I just want to clear the air and, you know, apologize for the other night. I didn't expect you to just like leave in the middle of the night. He's like, oh, I didn't know that we had expectations. So, you know, they really are able to kind of break the ice and get a better understanding of what each other has been thinking and what each other has been feeling. And I think that really helped to like just like clear the air, lighten the load. And so now they can kind of focus on like just being themselves again, because it's definitely been like, you know, a little cringy. So that's good. I'm glad they had that little conversation. Sometimes just a few minutes of having an important conversation can really get things back on track. It doesn't have to be this 3-hour, you know, heart to heart. You know, sometimes it could just be that 5-minute, hey, we taking shots, music playing in the background, we're laughing about some silly joke or a song or something. Hey, I'm able to, you know, throw a thought out there, and we have a very productive and very efficient conversation, and you never regret it when it goes like that. So I thought the car scene with Nathan and his boys were interesting. He definitely opens up a lot with them. He's like, we've been friends for over a year, you know, and I've been a supportive friend, and then, you know, all of a sudden, it's like she invites me over, asks me to stay the night, and then she's crying all of a sudden. And now she show up here looking all good and basically teasing me with her oiled up legs and talking about we friends, right? So it's just interesting when he kind of ran down the timeline from his perspective. It's like, oh, shit. Ooh, Issa. Ooh, it does kind of seem like you playing him, like you just teasing him. This is why communication is so important. You know what I mean? Because Issa's like feeling away, like he acting funny, and like, why would he ditch me? And like, I don't know how he feels about me, and I'm probably getting my hopes up. And Nathan's kind of like, she doesn't really want me. She's playing with my head. She's giving me mixed signals. So it's interesting. It's interesting. I'm just glad they got on the same page, because this might be an unpopular opinion, but I was always a big fan of Issa and Nathan pretty much right out the gate. You know, I loved her and Lawrence. I take that back. I didn't love her and Lawrence. I tolerated it, and then I kind of grew to like it. Like, especially like after she cheated on him with Daniel, I kind of felt bad for him. And of course, I love like their super duper romantic date. That was like one of the freaking best episodes. Oh my gosh. I mean, you could have freaking hated them together. You saw that one episode. Y'all know the dreamy, you know the episode I'm talking about from last season. Super dreamy, super perfect. It was magnificent. It was magical. It really was. So that could make you be a Lawrence and Issa fan. But I was always a fan of Issa and Nathan. That was an easy yes for me. So yeah. Huge fan of Issa and Nathan. Huge fan. I hope this budding relationship lasts, and I wish them long success. So we'll see. The last highlight that I want to get into is Nathan's cousin, Thomas. I need to get him together. So, Mr. Thomas, really? That was some fugazi stuff that you did, man. That was fugazi. did you notice how this dude was like sneaking away? He didn't say nothing to Nathan. He didn't tap him on the shoulder. He didn't say, cuz I'm about to head home. I'm tired. Like, he was literally gonna like sneak off quietly and go to his lift. Nathan, who like turned around like, where's Thomas? Oh, Thomas, where you going? He's like, oh, I'm gonna head home. I already ordered my lift. The lift? When did you get a lift? It's like, oh, when your friend was hyping up Jason Derulo. And it's just like, I didn't like that. I felt like that was really fraudulent. That was really phony. No matter what happened in the past, you don't just sneak off and like try to leave quietly like your cousin wasn't gonna notice. I didn't like that. And also just him finally admitting that, basically when he got kicked out of his house several years ago, when he was really going through it. I don't know if he was on drugs. I don't know if he was on pills. I think Nathan was on something. They didn't really get into like if he was using something, but I have a feeling he must have been, but we don't know for sure. But his cousin does say that actually I'm the one that didn't feel comfortable letting you continue to stay at my house. And he listed some very valid reasons, he did. He felt like he was leaving for days at a time, coming home in the middle of the night, leaving the door unlocked when he has kids. That's not good. But you could have had a conversation with him. Like, you could have talked to him, like, and let him know, I don't like that you do this, that you do that, and let him know. And then on top of that, for you to put it on your wife and let her take the fall, like, oh no, I was like, that's fake, that's weak as hell. Like, like, you got to be able to communicate. You need to be able to open your mouth and talk. Like, I was like, I don't know. That just left a bad taste in my mouth. It's like, all these years, I don't know how long it's been, but all these years, Nathan thinking his wife doesn't mess with him and like she has a problem with him and that's why they're probably not close. And all these years, it's him that is feeling a way about him and not really comfortable with him. And basically is being fake. If you ask me, he's being fake as hell. And I was like, I felt bad for Nathan because you can tell he looked really hurt. He looked really hurt hearing his cousin explain all this. And he's like, oh, we're going to keep in touch. Like, let's keep talking. I'm going to call you. He ain't going to call you. I'll let you know right now. That's a damn lie. And I know none of us are perfect. You know what I mean? It's hard to keep in touch. Sometimes you mean well. Sometimes you want to be able to talk to people and really keep up. And it's just hard, especially when you have kids and stuff. I totally get it. But I just feel like, and I would give most people a pass. I know I do it too. I apologize to my friends that I don't get to call and stuff like that. I know I'm terrible with that. But in this case, I just feel like he just says what he doesn't mean. Like, it's not even like, man, I really want to do this. And, I'm sorry I keep falling short or whatever. I just feel like he really don't want to mess with him like that. And now that I watched the episode back a second time, I saw like kind of his facial expressions and his body language is just like, don't want to be here. I'm ready to leave. Like, even when his wife was like, oh, I'll just go home. You stay out. And he's like, are you sure? Are you sure? Like, please don't leave me here. Please, can we just go home together? I don't know. I don't know if he's going to be in more episodes or if they're going to patch things up. But I would definitely keep an eye. Probably just not expect much from him. Because people like that, you just can't. You can't put nothing past them. If he did all that, your cousin, and he wasn't even going to tell you, like, the truth, it just kind of came out. You pressed him for the truth. That's why he finally told you what really was happening. You over here judging his wife like, oh, this lady don't like me. And the wife is probably like, I don't know, I'm cool with him, but my punk-ass husband just can't speak up for himself. Yikes. Getting to my favorite parts of the episode. Most of these favorite parts I have are quotables, just quotes that were just hilarious. So Molly in the beginning of the episode when they're walking up on the beach is like, girl, it's niggas in bulk out here like Costco. Cause you know Costco got everything in bulk. Costco, Sam's Club, BJ's, all of them. Yes, niggas in bulk out here. Kelly's like, Lord, somebody please help me understand what she's talking about. She said, everybody wants to be successful on Etsy, but not everybody's ready for the fame. Food for thought. Yes, people are blowing up on Etsy, ladies and gentlemen. Etsy is the new wave. Yes, it's not just Instagram influencers. We got Etsy influencers now. Brought to you by Kelli, the one and only. Jason Derulo. Why is Faison Love Stunt Double so obsessed with Jason Derulo? Like, what is happening here? What is happening? Kelly's like, I had this dream that my mom was a hamster on the wheel and I ate her because I didn't have any food. Does that mean like my past is inside of me? On the next episode of Prenny's Preguntas, find out whether Kelly's past is inside of her because she ate her mom that was a hamster on the wheel. Like, Kelly, this girl must stay high. Like, she must be like smoking on a weed pen all day, every day, and we just don't see it on camera because it's too much. It's too much. Arik, the party is at capacity, and I can only bring one person in. So, Faison Love, I'm telling you, he stole the episode. He's walking up like, Jason Derulo, I'm going in. I'm gonna see my man. I don't know why he loves this dude. Ain't nobody checking for Jason Derulo like that. But he was like, Molly. He looks so sad. He walking up. Appreciate you, fam. Yeah, I'm taking her. That's it, y'all. That's it. That's it for this episode. Season 5, episode 4. Faulty Okay. Make sure to like and subscribe. Leave a comment. What was your favorite moment of this episode? It was hilarious. I loved it. Please subscribe to my channel, Lady Sola TV. You can hit the bell for the notifications. You know what I'm saying? I ain't doing too much, but if you want to get notified on when these videos is coming, you know, hit the bell. And I will see y'all next week, okay? I appreciate y'all. Bye.